Hello! This is the intro to the writing exercise slash stream of consciousness exercise. In this video, I talk about striking the balance between maintaining a well-stocked inventory of items and materials that help you to accomplish your task, and what objects are merely dead weight. As stated previously, the ideas, facts, and opinions stated in the following examples are just the ramblings of the mind and have not been examined or considered with great scrutiny. July the 6th, 2024, writing exercise number 8. Well, what to write about now? This is a little later in the day that I'm writing this assignment. It's currently 3:44 p.m. I have been doing some research on building materials and possibly using reclaimed materials for the building process. What do you think of the idea? I'm currently considering using old garage door panels for a simple structure. I first heard of the idea from the YouTube channel Kevin Builds. He constructed a simple structure using only garage door panels. The structure was designed as an emergency single-person habitat with just enough room for a bed, some shelving, and a place for a heater. I wouldn't want a structure that small, but it got me thinking about the notion of reusing materials and not throwing stuff away that could have a use in some other application. What a fine balance. You don't want to keep so much stuff around that the area becomes cluttered and you lose your sense of space and can't categorize or organize the space, but at the same time you don't want to live such a minimalist lifestyle that you have no recourse or raw materials should you need to fix something or feel the urge to build an idea concept. I don't know what the balance point is. I don't even know if there is a balance that can be struck in the general sense. Maybe the balance between storing and letting go is unique to each individual. There does seem to be some sort of philosophical or psychological underpinning to the idea of holding reserves. How many of us have relatives who lived through a period of privation and subsequently maintain a reservist mindset where materials or objects are held onto and put in storage for that you never know moment? But we also know people, usually younger and naive individuals, who never keep reserves of anything. They are constantly running out of basic necessities and experience stress when some simple forethought would have dictated that something should be saved. Where is the middle ground for these two extremes? How much should be maintained and saved? How much can be left behind? I can think of two stories or examples that pertain to this subject. Both stories describe individuals who had to discover the balance and apply the cut to their own lives. The first is the story of Hudson Taylor. I hope I'm remembering the story correctly. I'm thinking of this off the top of my head, so if I get it wrong, please tell me, and don't trust the details with too much faith. Imagine for a moment that I am ChatGPT. He, that is, Hudson Taylor, would perform a yearly audit of all his possessions. If there was an item that he hadn't used in the last year, he would sell it and donate the proceeds to the mission fund. In so doing, he maintained a well-organized and updated inventory of possessions that actually helped him with his work and didn't lie around building clutter. The second story is of a commander in the Vietnam War. I believe that it was David Hackworth, but here too, I am recalling this in the moment, and if I mess something up, then oh well. Anyway, he had a rule that anything a soldier wished to bring on the mission must be carried by that soldier for a designated number of miles in the march or the trek. This forced the company to reduce the number of items that they lugged around and helped to focus the attention on keeping only what is absolutely necessary to the mission. In both stories, the emphasis was placed on the utility of the item. The governing principle was that of value, either in the value that it had brought over the course of the previous year, or the value it would bring to the furtherance of the mission. I really appreciate both approaches and would love to apply them in my own life, but how do you know what to cut if you know so little about the mission or if you might need something down the line? I have done a little bit of repair work in DIY construction, and I always find that the task at hand almost never goes exactly according to plan, and some unexpected step must be taken to make the repair or build the object. What do you do in that moment? Will you be able to make the repair, or will you have to stop and retrieve the correct tool or material to see the task through to completion? As I'm typing the above line of reasoning, a thought has just come to mind. The rule is to understand your own abilities so well and know what you are capable of that you can plan with some level of accuracy what materials and tools will be necessary to meet the required need. If you find yourself at a loss as to how best to attack a situation, or that you have no idea what objects you will need and what items you can dispense with, then the answer is truly very simple. You need more practice and experience in the particular situation at hand. It almost sounds as if I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth at this point. On the one hand, I'm saying that the sign of bringing too much stuff to a task is a sign of a lack of experience, and at the same time, the only way to know how much to bring is to get experience. Make up your mind already, Nathan. Well, the truth is, I'm speaking more to a shift in mindset, not an actual shift in the situation itself. If you struggle with streamlining your process, know that this speaks to the fact that you are a novice and should treat yourself as such. Don't try to accomplish the task at hand as if you should be the expert. Know that you will be learning and let yourself learn. Take on smaller, less crucial tasks of a similar nature to the situation that you are planning for and allow yourself to play in those throwaway scenarios. If you mess up, no problem. They were learning environments anyway. Through this process of methodically acquiring more and more experience, you will finally reach the point at which you can look at a given situation and predict with some level of accuracy what materials you will need, how much time the task will take, and what tools you should bring. The learner's mindset is what both Taylor and Hackworth displayed in their methods of weight reduction. In Taylor's case, he knew, based on the year of experience, what he had used and what had been left untouched. In other words, life had been the task. He had experienced a year of training, and from the training knew what he could jettison. Hackworth was a career soldier, and knew from prior experience what could be left behind. This has been the writing exercise for July 6th, 2024. I hope that you have a wonderful day and accomplish whatever task you have been given with less than the usual effort or difficulty. Goodbye.